have here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see. We see things as separated by a certain distance. We walk across a room and we think, well, we've left the far wall of the room behind us and so forth. But there's an attempt to say, well, maybe things that from our macroscopic point of view appear to be widely separated in space, like New York and Chicago, just to take two macroscopic examples, from a microscopic point of view might actually be. What we have here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see.
And time is up. Can you hear me loud and clear? Tell me in chat. Those were the first words ever uttered in any Modus live stream where I featured, because technically my first live stream ever was the Near Protocol 3 world premiere. That was the first time ever I went live, but I didn't speak in there. I did speak on August 1st, 2018, 7 years ago, to the day. And here we are, 7 years later, ready to keep bothering the internet with our presence. Shall we begin? Hello there! My name is Paul A.K. Modus. As always, I hope you're having an amazing week. And today is August 1st, 2025, which means this is our 2,556th day. Making the internet a better place. Or at least trying to, you know? So yeah. Lots of things have happened since. For one, we switched platforms. We've only been on YouTube for like 6 months, a little less than 6 months, right? And yeah, for 6.5 years we were on Twitch, and then Twitch decided, nah, you're too much. your VODs belong to us, and I said no more of that. And we shall switch platforms. And earlier today, I exported to YouTube the first 2 VODs in Modus history, in Modus live history, which were the only ones that were missing in there. So, yeah. The script from August 1st, 2018, because yeah, back then I used to write scripts for what I would say at the beginning of the streams. I am honestly glad I switched to improv. It's helped me quite a lot with just coming up with things to say and then interacting with chat. So yeah, it went like, hello everyone, my name is Paul, aka Modus, and this is a first. Welcome to the first ever Modus live session. It's actually not the first time I've live streamed. In fact, that accolade goes to the Near Protocol 3 countdown stream. But it's the first time I show my face live. So some of you might have already seen pictures of me going around in Discord. But if you haven't, well, this is how I look and sound. Yes, true 2018 words from this 2018 goober. And now 7 years later, I am still the same idiot. Just a little prettier is all. Just a little hotter is all. Do you know the Greek god? Yes, I know my Greek gods. I've played my fair share of God of War. No way, I literally thought Coda D's nuts, and then you said, let me say it. Great minds think alike. What can I say? So yeah, that first stream in 2018, we premiered I released the teaser, right? I showed you guys the teaser for the first time of the AU5 Freefall remix. And now it seems as though things have come full circle, because now Agenda and I are actively working on a Snowblind remix. So yeah. Did you know? No, but I didn't feel like I needed to know. It's kind of like that one skit in Top Gear. Oh no, the Dacia Sandero is delayed. Oh no. Anyway, last week old Roblox go boing boing, yes. See, this is I haven't changed. The internet has. In these 7 years, the internet has gotten objectively worse, to the point where now the phrase old Roblox go boing boing yes is a thing. And it exists. It was a prophecy. There are many tales in my homeland of those who fulfilled prophecy by attempting to avoid it. So it was when I premiered the Freefall remix. And so it was when I asked Agente to work on the Snowblind remix. I know something else that goes boing boing. Basketballs, yes. I also know of something else that goes boing boing. My watch time count. my watch hours. Because I'm going to show you a little peek under the curtain here. And I'm going to show you that these past few weeks where we've been working on the Snowblind remix have actually been really beneficial. And we are getting closer to that goal of 3,000 valid public watch hours in the last 365 days. Whatever the fuck that means. So I'm going to make a screenshot here, just to make sure I show nothing else. And I'm just gonna go for window capture and the snipping tool. Please show yourself. Show yourself. No? It's like there's a window that wants to show, but it won't. It's it like flashes for a second and then it negates. It refuses. Okay. Some things never change, do they? Don't worry, I'll do this whether you like it or not. You know, I'm something of a power user myself. Window capture. Whoa, that's big. All right, have a look at that. Okay, these are our requirements to go partner. Okay, and I just closed it. Holy shit, I'm so dumb. I'm so fucking dumb. Okay, so we need 500 subs, which check. We need 3 videos uploaded in the last 90 days. Check. And one of the following. You can either have 3 million shorts views, which not happening. And this is the interesting one. Okay? We're getting really close. We're getting closer. Okay? Oh god. There we go. We are getting closer, boys. There you go. As of July 27th is the thing. So these numbers are only going to grow because we also streamed on the 28th, on the 29th, on the 30th, and on the 31st. And those all had their own watch counts, right? So my hope is that by the end of the August Streamerversary marathon, because yes, we are still streaming every single day from the 4th to the 10th. And I'll probably also stream this Sunday, which means that from now till the 10th, every single day stream. So yeah, when the maths is not mathing, hi criminal. Can we get a protocol redeem where you have to quit whatever you're doing and fight the protocol in Minecraft? No. I can have a little protocol PNG tuber show up on screen just like the humans. I can just something that doesn't completely change that doesn't completely deviate the stream, if you know what I mean. 11,130 minus 2,000 is 11,130. Wow. Maybe there's a bug in my streamer bot and the criminal just costs 0. I gotta check. Criminal. Okay, it's I can see the cooldowns and now criminal Friday. 1,500 points. Okay. Well, not sure how that happened. Maybe well, it's just why are you complaining anyway? That's like when that's like when you complain because you haven't been charged enough on because you haven't been charged. You've been charged less than what the ticket says. Like when you're shopping something, you go for a $50 purchase and then they charge you $40 and you complain. What the fuck, dude? Shut up. Magical Girl Modus VTuber when Opal does the art. She'll come around, boys. She'll come around. Even better, let's just turn him into a magical girl. How do you intend to do that? Find a mystical animal or an artifact somewhere. No magical girl modus for now. I'm especially intrigued by the find a mystical animal or an artifact somewhere. Like that. Ah, yes. Find turn modus into Loki so you can transform into animals. So yeah. Are you not familiar with the genre of Maho's shoujo? No. Maho shoujo. Subgenre from anime and fantasy manga that has as a main theme teens that are in possession of a magical or special item or object. Okay, so basically, okay, there's this. I'm just making sure there's no unsafe, unsafe stuff because we all know how these things are, boys. Window capture. Show me, okay. So it's like there was this anime that used to be on Spanish TV. I think it was Pitchy Pitch. Huh? There we go. Mermaid Melody. Yes. This used to be on our TV. Okay? But show me screenshots. Yeah, see, there's Spanish rips of this. Okay, so this is essentially Majo Sojo. Okay. Yeah, it's like the three girls that sing their problems away. That's basically the plot. The villain shows up and they sing, and apparently it's too much for the villain, so they scram. I want to check out this TV rip from archive.org. It's from Clan. So for those of you who don't know, in America you might have Cartoon Network. This is basically like the Spanish state's version of Cartoon Network, where they would like air shows, like licensed shows. This is where they aired Code Lyoko, right? And some other tunes. And yes, they were dubbed to Spanish. That penguin looks so cute. The whole point with this was cuteness, basically. So yeah, it's like the villain shows up somewhere in here, and yeah, there you go. And at some point they just transform and they sing the villain away, literally stopping on the worst freeze frames. Yes, even the songs were dubbed. It's like, oh, it's too much for me ears.
Subestimé la fuerza de una princesa sirena. ¿Quieres oírlo otra vez? La próxima vez no será tan fácil.
Yeah, scram.
Qué bien se ha ido. Ahora lo entiendo. Con mi perla soy muy poderosa.
All right. That's it. I don't wanna get copy slammed on YouTube. Okay, so it's Xenoblade but with singing. What part of that suggest? Whoa! I just gotta curb the time space continuum there. Just gotta curve the space time distortion field. Okay. When you try to show your parents anime. So what part of that seemed like Xenoblade to you, Agente? What part of Mermaid Melody was like the Xenoblade? Ah, yes. Me battle monsters in big green field. Please do not the mermaid. Okay, guys, he has to think about it. Give him some time. He's gotta let that marinate for a second. Really, it seems like AYP9 because the Alliance basically sing the protocol to death in the end. Do they? Do you believe that the choir in the AYP9 coda was like diegetic? Was what was happening in the animation film? So when you hear Near Protocol 9, yeah, have you heard the last few seconds? Of course. 1,000 times because I made it. Hi, genius, what's up? Okay, so let's go back to that. Give me a sec. Okay, so when this happens, okay, you see they're shooting a laser. It's just... They're shooting a laser. The choir is just music. It's just the soundtrack. But hey, I didn't think about it that way. Like the implication that the choir is the human singing. That's an implication I'm going to not confirm nor deny. NYP is basically Xenoblade, but yeah, but we weren't talking about NYP, were we? We were talking about Mermaid Melody. Hi Genius, what's up? The implication that it's actually the human singing in the choir in the NYP9 coda is actually rather amusing to me. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Such a theory makes sense, to be fair. Yeah, I just meant for it to be like the soundtrack to what you see on screen. But that's a good implication. Finish him! That wasn't my best Mortal Kombat voice, but I don't think I have that much of a Mortal Kombat voice. Imagine the gatekeeper being a part of the choir. Just a solo voice of me going, Evid! And then like high passed and distorted and big crushed. Like, I wonder how NYP9 would sound on Marvel trailers. Dude, there was this clip that Jarrett made a while back. It was the Avengers Infinity War, but with NYP9. Avengers Infinity War modus. I gotta find it. Your protocol. Ah, yes, here it is. Found it. I'll just play it for y'all. Modus is near Protocol 9 over the battle on Titan and Infinity War. Here we go.
The hardest choices require the strongest will.
Hardest choices require the strongest wills. I would have started the dun 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 dee da dee dun when Strange and Thanos started battling, not when they faced each other. I think that was a little bit too early. So let me just play the song side by side, okay? I'm just gonna go like this. Right? That was sick. We are the doctors. I would like to see it with the endgame battle as well, but that might be a bit of an ask for Jared. As I should watch this movie. It looks so cheesy in the best way possible. No, it actually has some real, like, this is when Marvel was at its peak, right? The like 20, I want to say 2012 to 2019 Marvel, save for some duds here and there. Thor Dark World. Ragnarok was not as bad, but it was still really meh. It had a few duds in there, but like peak Marvel was, yeah, Infinity War and Endgame were just some of the greatest superhero movies ever. For superhero movies, yeah, Infinity War and Endgame are shot, well, maybe not the greatest, but they're really good. Okay. Just don't watch Fantastic Four. From what I'm hearing, I haven't watched it yet. I don't think I'm going to watch it, but from what people are saying, it's decent. It's okay. All right? Like it's not terrible. I remember when they came out and people would just not stop talking about the movies. Yeah, that part was a bit annoying. Like, oh, have you watched it? It was kind of like when Star Wars 7 came out. Oh, Han Solo died. And everyone was just like on the street. But have you watched Star Wars? Like, do you know Han Solo dies? Oh, you don't know about that? Oh, Han Solo dies. Wow. Like, knowing that Han Solo died was a flex. For some reason. So, yeah. I needed to fetch the hand of God. Have you seen the new millimeters update? Dude, I haven't updated in like a year and a half. I'm still running on... What version is it? I'm still running on? So 1.0.0 just came out. So like... I'm still running 0.8.12. I should probably update. I'm going to read the changelog. AKA, I'm going to see what's up with 1.0. They added a VU meter. Okay. Quad layout. Thing is, I'm not using any of it because all I use millimeters for is the top bar in feedback hour, right? That's all I use millimeters for. Millimeters can now record audio directly from your system or DAW. Okay, that one's interesting. Capture the previous 10 or 60 seconds of audio that millimeters received at the clip 10 seconds or clip 60. Hold on, I gotta show you this. Millimeters 1.0. Okay, so they added a VU meter. New plugins of every module. Oh, so they just made each individual module into a plugin. Okay, that one's pretty interesting. Because right now, I've been using Track Meter in FL Studio for all like my waveform scope needs. I've been using Track Meter for that. Maybe this could come in handy. Quad layout. So there's a quad layout. It's like 4. Okay, I see. Presets. You can now save presets. Thank you. Okay, I'm probably getting this update. Because one of my biggest gripes with millimeters was that it, like, the second you moved anything, you had to, like, try to adjust it back to where it was before. So... yeah. Audio recording and clipping. Okay. Add the clip 10 seconds or clip 60 seconds drag regions in the toolbar to capture audio and drag it directly into your DAW, audio editor, Discord, a file browser, or anywhere that will accept a WAV file. This is cool. On paper, I probably won't be using it that much. Because I don't find myself in situations where I would like to send someone what just happened in the last 10-60 seconds. When I'm not in the DAW. And when I am in the DAW, I'll just do that with Edison. So, yeah. Recordings are stored in 32-bit floating point WAV files. Okay. Color maps. A color map can be selected which contains a gradient map to volume which targets the display in the spectrograms. Okay. Notable change to meters. Okay, that's just changes. Okay. I'll probably get it, yeah. I just have to log in with HIO. Log in with HIO. Don't even know where my login is. I have to go looking for my HIO login. Okay, it's this one. And now I have to guess the password. Is it this? Okay, no, that's not it. But it probably might be this. And then the CAPTCHA. Okay. Images of traffic lights. Log in. Is it this? Ah! Reset your password. I already forgot my password once. Okay. I'll do it again. And then I'll save it to my Bitwarden so I don't have to remember it myself again. Password reset link has been sent. Okay. Okay, I got it. User forgot. Now I'm going to fill out this password. Okay. There we go. That should be good now. Submit! Okay, now I'm logged in. Now, should be able to just return to millimeters. And now I'm logged in. Am I not? Yeah, okay. So I'm logged in now. Purchased 3 years ago. Almost never updated since. So yeah. Where to download? And then this was installer. Okay. And there you go. Honestly, one of my favorite changes has been to the stereometer. It doesn't look ugly as sin anymore. I'll have to check that out. I'll update it after the stream if you don't mind. You guys haven't been posting songs. Sharks posted a new song a few days ago. It was his first song in quite a while because he went on hiatus. Not just in SoundCloud or on Spotify, but like in every platform. Like he went on hiatus, okay? He posted a song 6 days ago. And he said, waking up, new music soon. So apparently he's coming back with some tunes. He's had some time to work on stuff, and I can't wait to see the cleanest mixes ever make a return and put us all to shame. Okay. I don't have high hopes for RD for Rushdown. Who knows? What I will say is that we can't stay all our lives hoping that Rushdown comes back. We have to learn to live in a world where without Rushdown. We have to learn to live without Rushdown. We have to accept the possibility that Rushdown won't be coming back, and we have to adapt accordingly. So, yeah, there was life before Rushdown, and there will be life after Rushdown. We will adapt. So, yeah. So Shark's quitting Color-Based to make kind of decent dish rhythm. Dude, let him cook. Let him make whatever the fuck he wants. Okay. Rushdown at this point, it's just kind of gone. Dude, it's been gone for 2 years. Rip. No, there was a pre-2016 period to Rushdown. Much like Modus, much like there was a pre-New Year Protocol era, if brief, short pre-NYP era for Modus. There was a pre-2016 Rushdown era, and then they did an odd rebrand in 2016, right? And their first tune for the rebrand was an A Sora tune, I think. So, yeah. Looking at the old cover always feels so weird. Let's show you. I think the only place where you can still find the old branding is on YouTube. Let me try. First Rushdown rebrand was okay. Hi Crackle, thank you. I've been live streaming for 7 years, but I've been producing music for longer. Still, my face has been bothering the internet for 7 years. August 1st, 2018 was my face reveal to the public. So, yeah. First time I streamed was also my public face reveal. It was only L Moon and time for a while until Sekai appeared, then Asora and everyone else. Okay. Yeah, it's just my My old Rushdown lore is it's a little rusty. I'm gonna have to do a lot of scrolling back. give me give me a minute. Still going. We're in 2020 now, apparently. Oh! Who's this idiot? I heard he put out an album. That Logitech mouse tool is handy as hell. Yeah, just doing this. And see how it keeps rolling? You can even see it on camera. The fact that it keeps... Okay, here we go. This is the pre-rebrand artwork. Yeah, it was this like very cartoony, like Spock, like. You guys heard of Spock? Yeah, his music had this like type of artwork a while back. Yeah, like this like hand. Oh yeah, like this type of like cartoonish stuff. And then he had the hand. So yeah, this is the type of artwork. Yeah. That's different because this was June 2016. Oh boy. Chime, Zeta, Rob Gasser, and Brig. Dude, those are some names. Retro Chime, if you can believe it. Yeah, Prism. Big, nostalgic. I'll leave the link in chat for those of you who want to check it out. This was micro drops before micro drops. No, that's not snare 3. We used the shark snare for this. we went with Sharks' drums. So yeah, there we go. That's the first Modus related thing I ever heard. For a lot of people, it seems, because like the the numbers speak for themselves. For a lot of people, it seemed like it was their first foray into Modus. And now look at you listening to the New Year Protocol series. And getting involved in the lore and waiting for this. My god, I can't get enough of this coda in the second drop. Oh boy. It's not out yet. It's not out yet, but we are working on it actively. We're working on it actively, and it's going to come out when the remix competition ends. 10 days from now, the competition ends, and then 2 days after that, on August the 13th, we're going to reveal the winners. Whether we win or not, this is going to get released. Okay, we are going to put this out. We didn't do this for nothing. Okay. I think Argente sounds. Yeah, so the second drop is all me, save for a few filler basses, which are Argente. And then most of the sound design from the first drop is Argente. I just rearranged some of his sounds around. But the first drop is mostly Argente. The second drop is pretty much all me. So yeah, it's like we take turns. Right? So he's doing work in most of the first drop, the breakdown, and the tiny micro drop after the first drop cooldown, right? And then we're gonna be doing the orchestral verse together into the second drop, and then the second drop is me. So yeah, it's like we are taking turns. Like he's working on this and I'm working on that, right? Only 4:51. I thought this would be like 7 minutes. What? We don't have that much time, Sondix. Also, it's not 7 minutes because it doesn't need to be. The song is good enough. The song is so good already. Yeah, it doesn't need to be 7 minutes long. You can tell a story in 4:51, no problem. So, yeah. There's a chance I'm going to be working on Snowblind again this Sunday, so tune in for that. Have you ever tried fusing like flamenco with color bass? I have not. Because I've never felt like it. I've never felt like it, and I don't feel like, just, I don't know, it's never come to me, you know? If I ever have that urge to mix in some flamenco with color bass, then maybe I'll try it one day. It just hasn't come to me yet. That urge just hasn't come to me. No, I meant like there's a first drop, second micro drop, orchestral part, Rio's second drop. I just didn't expect that to fit into 5 minutes. That's the thing. Density, right? That's what we are working on. Now, it's cool to like make a track that's like fully fleshed out now. The thing is, how do you still keep it nice and short? Because the longer it is, the more you have to make sure the listener doesn't get tired of it, right? If you're working on a really long song, you better have a good reason for it. Like New Year Protocol, right? 3 drops, there's like this super big storytelling thing, and there's an animation film for it. Like, there are good reasons why New Year Protocol is as long as it is. Not this. This is just a song, right? And we are still telling our story, right? And we're trying to pack this up so we can tell the story as densely as possible. So there's as much content per second for the listener to be there and go, this is interesting. I don't know if... I don't think I'm explaining myself very well, but... So yeah, the structure is... there's an intro, then there's a verse, then there's a first build-up, then there's a first drop, then there's an 8-bar cooldown, then there's a micro breakdown, then there's an orchestral section, and then there's a second drop, and then there's the outro. And all of that fits into 4:51. So yeah. Shaded Grain said metal with color bass. You did. Why is it stuck in my mind right now? Couldn't be alone loving you. I don't think those are lyrics from Prism. I don't know. Send a message in chat if you think we should do Garlic Phone for 7-year anniversary. The drop of That has to be like the 5th different name Superluminal has received. It's called everything except Superluminal. I swear to God, that song gets all the names except its real name. So there's the song is called Superluminal. I've heard it being called Superliminal, and now Superluminum. Like, what? Neoluminum? Neoluminum 2? Superluminum? No way, bro. You should watch the very first stream you ever did. I've already done that more than once. I don't think I need to repeat that suffering again. It's just Retroluminum Redux. Superluminal VIP is my absolute favorite track ever. My only regret with Superluminal VIP is not doing more high octave chords in the second drop. All of the basses are like super low. Like they're all really low octaves in the bass, and they're not really very audible on like phones. So yeah, I just wish that some of those bass notes I brought up 1 octave higher. I know that's a really nerdy thing to talk about. I regret not doing enough high octave bass lines. My only regret with my Subliminal remix was finishing it in 2 days when the deadline was far from 2 days. Nah, but you still did a good job. You still did a baller remix. Key shift can work for extended type original soundtracks. Snowblind has like 5 keys, and it's still 451. No, you don't need to make a track super long to fit a key change. The only reason I keep saying we need Astro Realm Season 2 because it's like so perfect in storytelling. I'd like to think I'm good enough at storytelling that that doesn't have to necessarily be the Astral Realm. I don't have to keep milking the same story forever. There will be more storyline modus stuff, more lore-driven modus music stuff. There will be. The whole EP. So Scarlet 2, the Astral Realm 2, Displaced 2, and Enhanced 2. Subliminal VIP has been my GD menu music for like over a year now. You can change the menu music on... Every day's a school day. Neoluminal is crazy. Alright, let's listen to Superluminum in that case. Here we go. Who's that idiot? Get him off my screen. Hold me. Sorry, gotta make a correction here. There, fixed. Hey, hola, Esther. And so it begins. Celebrating 7 years of bothering the internet with my face. It started in August of 2018 on Twitch. And then Twitch decided I was too good for them, so they were going to delete all my VODs. So I moved to YouTube. And I can't wait for YouTube to do the same thing. Eventually. I have PTSD from hearing this song so much. Oh no. Omnicorum heard this song so long for the Cause he was involved in the remix competition too. He also made a remix, so he probably referenced this to death so he could make his remix. Oh no, don't play it. I've been here for 3 of those years bothering the Modus chat with my presence. Get out of my head. Very cool Superluminum. Ah, yes. And he keeps playing it. What the fuck, dude? It's a sick remix. And you guys recall when I put up the trailer for this. When the spaceship from the Sega Saturn was in there. Look at that thing. That's my CRT TV running my Sega Saturn. I recorded my own Sega Saturn with a spaceship visualizer for this. Look at that. That's the inspiration for the Superluminal ship. And it's just a myriad of remixes. So yeah, or was it Save Me? I've forgotten. Those are 2 wildly different songs, may I say. Situation is bad, title spot. Insert crying emoji, Markiplier jump scare. Dude, my YouTube feed is the stuff of nightmares. I swear to God, the algorithm is probably so fed up with me. The algorithm... The algorithm is so fucking tired of me. It's just feeding it the most random shit. You know what's funny is that when you go to the most played on my Superluminal remix below, I am the top 1 listener with over like 800. You listen to your own remix 800 times. Yes, that's the real producer attitude. That's what real producers do. They listen to their own already released music 800 times and they get massive imposter syndrome from it. That's the real music producers. Boy. I have 2,500 plus subscriptions. The algorithm hates me. The algorithm hates all of us. I'm pretty sure. If the algorithm was a person, dude, I keep wondering if the algorithm was an actual human being that was seeing all of our search queries, what would that human think about the rest of us? Like when you think about every search query that must be given to the algorithm in a day. Like, you're the algorithm for a day, okay? And you get to see what the entirety of mankind searches on YouTube for a day. Would you be able to stay sane? Because you have to imagine all sorts of people from all walks of life type out all sorts of weird shit. If Google was a guy type idea. Yeah, no, but the algorithm doesn't seem to care about subscriptions at all, though. No, because that's not for the algorithm to do. And by the way, Markiplier jump scare part 2. Okay, so do you want to escape the YouTube algorithm? Do you want to no longer be recommended whatever the fuck YouTube thinks it's good for you? There is already a solution for that. In fact, it's already been there for years. It's the subscriptions tab. Just go here and granted, my subscriptions are a little bit outdated. I haven't subscribed to new channels in a while, but this is everything from channels you are subscribed to. Okay? So, yeah, just saying. Listen, man, the imposter syndrome is really hard to control sometimes. Tell me about it. Use the subscriptions tab. Shakes everyone. Use the subscriptions tab. Oh, man. Stop! He's already dead! I've always wondered how you have made the Sonder. What was it that time when you were making the scenario that you were trying to create? Okay, so that track happened because of limitations. Okay? That track I made as part of a competition, and the part of the competition we were at when I made Sonder was you have to write a song using only Audacity. You cannot use your DAW. You have to use Audacity to compose the entire song. So, me being an EDM producer, I'm like, I can't record my synths like from the real world because I synthesize them all in the DAW. But Audacity doesn't support synth VSTs. It only supports effect VSTs because it's not a DAW. It's not a workstation. Okay, so it does not allow for synths, right? It just handles audio and effects processing on audio recordings, right? So I came up with an ingenious solution. I looked up this plugin in Audacity that was like a sine wave generator, right? And from that sine wave generator, I made the drone bass and I made the main pluck. The dun, dun, dun. Let me just look it up. No, this is the wrong modus Sonder. I just remembered there's another track there's another track called Sonder from another guy called Modus. This and this are two completely different tracks. Okay. So this block. Bum, bum. That was like this sine wave, and then it got big crushed with kilohertz big crush, I'm pretty sure, and then I must have done some other effects to it. I don't remember the whole thing because that was a long time ago. And then I did record my piano. That is me playing my own piano. And I recorded the line out from the piano. I drove it into my computer as a line input, and I recorded because my piano has a line out. Okay, it's just I got the sound font from my piano, right? Like my piano has its own sound, has its own like piano sound font. That's what I got here. So this is what my piano actually sounds like when it's not using MIDI, right? If you were to turn up the speakers on my piano, this is what it would sound like. It's competent, but it's no addictive keys. And there's also this thing, there's this issue I ran into where I didn't have the required cables at the time to record stereo line out. I did this weird ass trick where I used some like makeshift cable, and I cabled it in like the most haphazard way to get a mono line input into my computer, and that was all I could do with the cables I had, because my piano has a stereo line out. My interface has stereo in because it has two mono inputs, so I can do I can do left and right. But I only had one cable. So I could only record one channel because each cable is one channel, is mono. You need two mono cables to record stereo because I don't have a stereo TRS to TRS, right? And even if I did, my interface wouldn't support it because it has two mono inputs, not one stereo input. Anyway, thing is, the way I had it at the time, I could only record a single channel. So this is a mono recording from my piano, and I did some like stereo trickery. I added reverb, and then I added this like Haas effect thing to simulate the stereo-ness, to like fake stereo, okay? And that's how I got that like distinct, like slightly degraded, like vintage sound to the piano, right? My piano has its own sound. Must be a crazy thing to say before the 1970s or whenever e-pianos were invented. My piano is from 2008. My parents bought me this piano for my piano lessons at the time. I still have it. Every single key works. It hasn't broken down. It still works absolutely perfectly. There's only like cosmetic damage to the piano, but internally it still works like the first day. And I'm not changing this thing for anything in the world. So yeah, I had like all sorts of limitations to make this track. I could only use Audacity. I only had a single cable for my piano, so I could only record mono. And then like I had to come up with all sorts of tricks, right? And workarounds to make this. And this is like the absolute limit of what I could do in Audacity, because forget about making anything close to like a dubstep track with everything that entails. Like there's growls, uplifters, right? So this is like a very simple thing to do in FL Studio. You could do this in a couple hours. In Audacity, this is like the absolute limit of what Audacity will allow you to do. Hello, Opal. And then same thing for the second drop. There's a piano solo. I did the piano solo. This. I performed it myself, actually physically playing the piano. And the process of coming up with the ideas and the melodies, it's just the same process for every other song of mine. Just it's all here. The ideation process is not limited to a DAW. Now, the choice of what program you use might influence how you think about composing, because you think about when you compose with a certain program in mind. When you have Audacity in mind, you think with the limitations of Audacity, save for a recording. If you're recording an instrument, then the limitation is not Audacity, is how you can play that instrument, right? Now, you might be wondering, how do you keep all of this in tempo? Because Audacity has no beat grid. So how on earth do you keep this on grid, in sync, on tempo? There was a plugin for that. I downloaded an Audacity plugin that like generated beat markers for each for the BPM value that you gave it. So I think this is like what, 90 something BPM, 96, 90 something, and then it made the beat markers for me, so I knew. But I still had to be very careful not to move the beat markers, because since they are markers, they're not a grid. You could actually accidentally move the markers and you would ruin your entire beat grid. So you had to be very careful not to accidentally move the beat grid. It was chaos. This whole thing is chaos. And this isn't actually the version that came out of Audacity. This is a later improved version. When I took the original and then I brought it into a file and I refreshed some instruments. That's the version that made it to the album. The Audacity version, the the true original version of Sonder is a little bit more primitive than this. In fact, maybe I could share it someday in the Lost Files, in my alt account. Maybe it's already here. Timeless, nope. Amethyst, nope. Maybe it's not here. And I know what to post next. What was going in your mind, the emotions when you were making it? Not really much of note. What was happening in 2019 was I was in my final year of high school, I believe. Yeah. My for the Spanish speaking, segundo de bachillerato. I was in like my final year of high school, and I was this is August, so this is already past. So I had already graduated from high school, so it was like this period of immense pressure, right? So this released in August, but I probably made it months back. Yeah, like months earlier. So yeah, this was still like my period of like final exams and all that, and then doing the university access exam, which I ended up not going to uni, but I still did the exam anyway, just in case. And yeah, I doubt when you say nothing. Yeah, it's not nothing. It's just that back then I just wrote songs based on what came up. The songs I put out did not necessarily relate to my mental state at the moment, at the time. So if I came up with a sad song, I didn't necessarily have to feel sad at that time, right? Just like me stressing for nothing. There. You said it best. You said it best. They had us all like, oh, you gotta do this, and then but you have to make sure that these exercises and then you go there, and first of all, okay, I'm gonna drop a bomb here. How much did you study for your selectividad? How much did you study for yours? Because if I tell you the number of days I study it for that, you're not going to believe me. Okay, so I used to be someone who got like straight A's every time. Okay, I was a good student. I got like very good scores overall. Okay, and the last 2 years of high school, that started to go down because I didn't really care anymore. Like, there, I just said it. I didn't give a shit anymore because by that point I knew what I wanted to do in life. Right? I knew I wanted to get into music, and I wanted to go down this line of work, this line of study. So yeah, I stopped studying that much, and I settled for lesser scores, because even when you get good scores, the most you get, it's like they subvencionar. How do you say that? They subsidized your first year of uni. Because here, uni is not free, unlike what most people think, but it is very cheap. Most of it is subsidized by public funds, so you only pay like a couple €100 a year. It's certainly not going into 5-figure tuitions like in the US. That is not a thing here. thankfully. But yeah, it's just we don't pay nearly as much, but it's not completely free either. If you get like straight A's, or if you're the best student, like the best of class out of high school, they subsidize your entire first year of uni, which is actually not a lot for all the hours you spend studying that. Like for all the time and effort and amount of hours you sink into reading stuff and being able to spout it back, being able to spit it back in an exam, the reward is just not enough. Okay? And that's why I stopped caring, because a person who got a C didn't really go all that much worse in life than a person who got an A. There wasn't really much of a difference, right? There was no point in being better because the reward was just not good enough. So it's just like, I'm going to study less so I can dedicate more time into putting out music, which is what I actually want to do, and pursue this career. Did I hear a couple hundred a year? Yes. Yes, that's what you heard. Maybe in some places it's a little bit more expensive, but it tends to not exceed 1,000 a year, which is still really cheap. It's still really good. So yeah, education system is outdated. In most places it is. That's not really news. But yeah, it's just the reward was just not enough. I had no motivation to be better at my studies because I already knew what line of work and study I wanted to pursue. Right? So my uni scores were right? So I studied a grand total of one day. The day before the uni exam, the day before selectividad, I studied everything or studied. So, and I still scored like, what was it? 8.3 out of 10. Yeah, it wasn't half bad. Or no, so I think what I scored. So the uni exam here in Spain, how it goes is you have to take the exam for a few things that are like you have to do those. So you have to do maths, you have to do Spanish, you have to do English, and you have to do Spanish history. Okay, so those four things were compulsory. Okay, you have to take that exam, and then on top of that, you can choose to take on more exams based on your like specialty, on what type of high school studies you chose. So if you went for sciences, well, you had the choice to take 2 more science-based exams or 2 more literature based exams and stuff like that, right? So yeah, letters, sciences, like history, and so there was like the 4 main subjects, the 4 core subjects that everyone had to take an exam on, and then the optional subjects, and those add up on top of the 10. So if if 10 would be the maximum score on those 4 core subjects, with the optional ones, you can choose to go all the way up to 14, right? So your exam, your like total score would be out of 14. So I believe I only took 1 optional exam, so my total score was out of 12, right? And out of 12, I scored like an 9 point something out of 12. And then the optional scores last for 2 years. After those 2 years, those expire, and you're left with the 4 core subjects. And that was like the 8 point something out of 10, right? So after all these years, I could still apply. I could still go ahead if I wanted and apply to a couple more, to a uni degree that had a, where I met the threshold score for it, right? In the States, it's a score out of 1,600. What? Ah, yes. I love how you added J, as if otherwise you would move to Spain in 15 minutes. 8 out of 10 better than me. Whoa. Yeah, it's just, I have a, I like to think I have a good head for that kind of stuff. Like, I have a good mind for that. I can, like, stuff sticks to me well. It's just that the stuff I don't want to learn, it's just my mind has no motivation for it. It just doesn't stick. But then, as soon as I moved to my sound technician degree, as soon as I applied for that and I started studying sound technician, I was best of class again. So yeah, my scores went up again because I liked what I saw. And I liked studying that shit. Right? So my scores immediately got better again. Right? So yeah, I didn't put a lot of effort. Yeah, just I made a technician degree too at the end. I'm only motivated for stuff I'm interested in. Exactly. Just I don't get why society is trying to, like, this good, this career good, this career bad. It's just. When I said flamenco fusion with color bass, I meant flamenco like the song called, yeah, just, I know what I mean. I know what you mean. I'm Spanish. I know flamenco. Okay. It's worse for me with ADHD too. I can see that. I'm not even motivated for stuff I'm interested in. That there are solutions to. There are ways to get out of that, and it's just, so you are interested in something. This will sound counterintuitive, but just start doing it. Set yourself a schedule and deadlines and go, I have to do this before this date, right? I don't think I've heard that tune specifically, but I've heard my fair share of flamenco, having lived in Spain for 100% of my lifetime. I had to put in a lot of effort because my dad forced me to go through this huge-ass book, and I scored well, but the uni I went to did not care about the score at all. And then there's that. There are businesses which, for their job applications, they don't even care about degrees. They care about work experience. So they don't even want the they don't even want the fresh graduates, like the freshly graduated. If you've just graduated from a degree, they don't want you either, because they only want people with existing experience. But how the fuck are you supposed to get experience if you just graduated from something and you want to get into that line of work and you can't because they're looking for people who have experience? But no one has experience because everyone is asking for experience and they can't get into that job. So you're like this, you're stuck in the cycle of like, you just got out of university and you want to have experience, but all the job offers ask for existing experience, which you can't have unless you do freelancer work, right? So I, for example, can say I have 10 plus years of experience in the music field, where I would not be able to say that otherwise if I didn't do that shit myself. So yeah. Yeah, like, you graduate, but jobs only want graduates with 4 years of experience or something. And even with that, dude, I recently saw a job offer for a golf field marshal. You know what? That actually has to be kind of cool. Like, managing a golf field, that has to be kind of cool. The requirements: someone with existing experience in golf field marshalling. What the fuck? How do you find people with existing golf marshalling experience? Surely you just want someone who can handle stuff. Just want someone who can who like has some basic notions about golf. And if not, you as the business have a duty to teach your employees how to do their job. They're not born geniuses. But no, you must have been a golf marshal for 6 months or longer, otherwise I don't want you in here. I've first ever of a golf marshal. So it's like the kind of people that like take care of or like they keep track of the scores in each on each field, right? On each like track, holes, right? They keep track of who's playing on each hole and the scores on each hole. And they take care of the golf equipment, so the clubs, the little like car thing they drive around in the golf field. So yeah, it's like they like take care of the overall experience of golfing, right? We require 5 years of experience with something that has only existed for 2 years. Amen, brother. A fucking man. People who have been in placement years may get better chances, but still. It's like the grandfather paradox, but with experience. Exactly. So, yeah. In Germany, it's free even in some places. Yeah, here it's mostly subsidized. But it's not. Do you use IEMs? I do, but not for producing. I use them for casual listening. I have this like just 20 euro pair of like KZ. What's it called? KZ ZS10? Yeah, I think this is it. It's just some huge ass PDF, but okay. So these are the ones I have. They are like this cool shiny brown. Here it's like more for yeah, it's like more silver, but I have them in brown. But yeah, this is what I use for casual listening. Like when I'm outside, when I'm on the bus. Or like waiting somewhere, because now that I have a car, I don't usually take the bus much anymore. But when I do still, right? I gotta go, unfortunately, but nice bumping and see y'all. Yes, 3,000 watch hours, road to partner, y'all. I gotta start putting that on all the stream titles. Hashtag road to partner. IEM's goated. I've heard really good things about IEMs. It's just that, and honestly, when you have this, do you really need anything else? You know, do you really need? It's just knowledge zenith. You have to go out into the forest and chop trees with your bare hands for 6.7 years. 6.7 specifically. That's these are the HD 650s. All right, so they're a little more colored than the 600s. So from my experience, the 600s are just a little bit too dull. These are a bit more lively. And yeah, I've had them for what, 5 years? 5 years. Oh my god, the ear pad is starting to come apart. the ear pad is starting to come apart a little bit, but at the very least, the ear pads are replaceable. So you can buy You can buy just the ear pads if you want, and you can replace them, and you basically have brand new headphones again. So that's cool. You can also buy the headband separately. So yeah, cool stuff. Be right back. Moving to Spain. I dare you. I dare you. That combined with 30 hours of battery and LDAC support plus wired options, by far the best experience I've had yet with headphones. You know, I have this trick to get unlimited battery life on everything. It's called wires. Have you heard of this ancient technology that has been brought down from the the roots of humanity down into our corporeal realm? Infinite battery life, and they're not even an issue for me. Just for me, I don't mind cables, honestly. Nightbot skipped my first message. I'm running a new Sony XM6 now. Interesting. I got the best ANC on the market and have a 10-band EQ directly on the headphones. That is cool. ANC, I'd honestly just rather use close backs. ANC, from what I've seen, is a bit of hit and miss for me. When I first tried the AirPods Max, I know this must be a bug, okay? That must be a mistake. But when I first tried the AirPods Max and I turned on ANC, they had this really nausea-inducing low-end, like this like, right? This like really low-end buzz on the ANC mode. Yeah, it's like a 10 to 15 hertz Zine, and it was nausea-inducing. I could not, like, after 10 seconds I had to take them off because I felt like I was going to throw up. Yeah. IMs are much more detailed than even headphones at high prices. I disagree. I bought these for 333 euros. 333. I've still yet to hear IEMs that sound like this. Okay? I strongly disagree. Because if IEMs were so good, there wouldn't be headphones like these anymore. It would just all be IEMs. Right? So, yeah. Honestly, I bought those Sennheisers 5 years ago, and as long as they don't break, that is the last pair of headphones I will ever need. I feel like I've reached the end game with those headphones, and sort of allows you to be in noisier environments or caravans that you cannot. Yeah, because you have that specific need, right? Because you're in a caravan, so like you have that specific need for you. Like me being here in a studio, I don't really have a use for ANC, right? And when I'm out, I use IEMs, which like they'll usually isolate most anything, right? ANC simulates a studio environment, exactly. So like me being here, I have no use for that. And even when I'm out, I'll just use IEMs that they cover like my entire ear canal. I definitely had to make good use of the EQ. The bass frequency response was ass. Yeah, dude. It looked like this. Oh, there you go. This is the frequency response curve from my studio monitors as measured in my room. Okay? that green curve you see there, it looks very messy, and in fact, it's a different curve from the left to the right channels. That's to be expected. Like, that is normal. Okay, like having a slightly different response in the left and right channels because they are positioned in a different place in the room. So you just take a measurement microphone like this, right? You just it's like that. You pull it out, and it's one of these like colonoscopy looking. I really just said that. Okay, so it's a measurement microphone, and you just plug it in through XLR, and you measure your room, and it gives you this, and then it does the inverse. Oh yeah. So this is how it was, and then this is what it's doing to get me this, right? And then I am doing a little bit of a bass boost afterwards. So the curve I am getting is that pretty much flat. So yeah. Best frequency for snares just goes boom. Do the Sennheiser have good sub for bass heavy genres? No. The Sennheisers, if you look at them here, this is the frequency response curve for the HD 650s. They're really flat. They're pretty much as flat as you can go, right? This is what I want. Now, there is one slight issue. That's that they have a bit of a bass roll-off, right? And this is pretty much the only thing I need Sonarworks for on these headphones, just to bring back a little bit of that bass. So I get this in the end, right? Just bringing back that little bit of bass. Why is there always a bass roll-off with flat headphones? It tends to be a thing with open backs. Open backs tend to have that problem. They tend to, it's probably because of their openness, like the fact that they're open back, their design, just, yeah, they tend to not have a lot of bass. Now, with closed backs, you have the opposite issue, where if you'll see, my Bayers, which are closed back, they have a lot more low end. And when you put them on, you will notice they have more low end punch. The one thing I don't like about the Bayers, so these are still pretty flat, as you can see, like all the way up to like 1, 2, 3, 4K even. They're pretty good, right? But from 4K to 10K, there's this massive boost of highs, and you really do notice this. The Bayers are really punchy in the low end, which is good, but they're also really bright in this area, right? So I still need Sonarworks for those. So like me needing Sonarworks for all three of the things I use, my monitors, my first headphones, and my second pair of headphones, right? This is a godsend, because I get to have pretty much the same sound profile on all of my equipment, right? And yeah, on mine the high was weirdly muffled instead. That's strange. So yeah, mine sounded the way you would expect them to be, following that frequency response curve. They were punchy on the low end because they were called what? Orthodynamic headphones. Like the type of driver they had meant it was closed back, and it was, the soundstage wasn't as wide, but it gave you a little bit more low end punch, more right? But they were still really bright. And the Bayers, the thing I dislike the most about the Bayers is the harmonic distortion on the low end. If you drive the Bayers too loud, the bass will start to rattle and go from to, right? It starts to do that. That's what I don't like about the Bayers. At higher volumes, the bass starts to rattle a little bit. That does not happen with these. So, yeah. These are just like my go-to pair. You see me wearing these all the time when I'm streaming, when I'm mixing and mastering, just anything. I use these, right? And the Bayers I tend to use for when I used to have a job. I would bring them to work, right? And I would use them all day for work, and they were comfortable and they sounded just fine, right? So yeah, dumb question, but if you're EQing them to have about the same frequency response, what's the real difference between headphones then? Quality of the drivers, harmonic distortion, soundstage, like the amplitude of the soundstage, right? So it's not all headphones are built equal, and you have some drivers that are just higher quality, and you just like the tonal the frequency response is one thing, but you can have the flattest frequency response and still hear all things like being like very crowded and like crumpled up, right? That's a sign of bad quality drivers. With good drivers, things will sound like nice and wide, and you'll be able to hear every single detail, right? That's not a thing you can solve simply by changing the frequency response, right? There's more factors, like the innate quality of the drivers, right? But codec will be codec. Bluetooth will never be the same quality as analog wired. Yeah, but I think when you bought your Bluetooth pair, you already knew that and you signed up for it. So if you enjoy them, don't let me crash your party. Okay? If you like them, you like them. And that's all that matters. When I play only sub, it rattles on my left ear. I'm guessing because a cable is loose from when my dad helping with some repairs on them. Maybe. I don't know. I won't know. They have an audio jack for when you want true audio. So, yeah. But even if you boost the low end, it will lose with the custom balance. Not sure what you meant there. LDAC's been good enough for now. Yeah, for most intents and purposes, like, I can't tell the difference between a 320 kilobit per second MP3 and a wave. If you can't tell the difference between those two, you probably can't tell the difference between LDAC and analog either. So, there, I said it. I can temporarily fix it by lightly smacking the left side CRT style. That reminds me of when I fixed the signal, the video signal on my CRT for the Sega Saturn. The picture would look like all green, and that'll be because it was missing a pin in the SCART thing, like wasn't properly connected. So just smack the TV, boom, it just fixed itself, and it would look good. Yeah, you do the TVs are not meant to withstand those anymore. They don't make they don't make them like they used to. They no longer they're no longer fixed by spanking. There's an alternate A2DP driver for Windows, letting you choose all kinds of codecs, including AAC and LDAC. What I do is just run a saw wave at 10 Hz and listen to what it does to essentially an impulse. That is interesting. I don't have any Bluetooth equipment to test with. All my headphones and like speakers and stuff, it's all wired. So yeah, that's my sister who has like the wireless stuff. I do consider myself a little bit of a purist. I'm pretty sure if you spank your TV again, you break it. The TV is probably just... the TV probably even likes it. It's like, Paul, hit me again. And I'd be like... The TV probably wants me to hit it again. It likes it. Yeah, I never run the native Windows ones. They use like a 20-year-old codec. Yeah, it's just, I don't run codecs. I just... Mark, the stream is not safe for work. Alright, just come back to, yeah. Low end boost will lose its custom balance, the balance the headphone has before EQing. Not necessarily. When headphones are calibrated at the factory, it's not like using an EQ will destroy their sound. Because then, if you did the same thing in a DAW, if you inserted a single EQ onto a sound file, would it not do the same? Would it not just destroy the entire file? But that's not what happens, is it? Right? So just an EQ is just a phase shift. When you think about it, pretty much a lot of stuff that happens in your DAW has to do with phase, including EQing. What happens when you do a bass boost on an EQ is your signal gets duplicated, and the duplicate gets phase shifted in such a way that when it blends back with the original, the result is the original but bass boosted by the amount you told it. Right? So when you boost by 6 dB, the DAW is going to make a duplicate of the original signal, and the duplicate is going to be phase shifted so that when it blends back in, when they sum back in with the original, the result is the original with 6 dB more bass. Right? So it's all delays. It's all time. How did I manage to play that twice? That was a frame perfect input on my soundboard. We are surrounded by delays. Does it not use Fourier transforms? Not always. There are some EQs that use FFT for linear phase, for example. Right? But then the result is you get pre-ringing and all that. So, yeah. It will sound more blocky or boxy since in the custom EQ has a low-end roll-off like thing. I haven't really noticed that. When I boost lows in my headphones, I just get the low boost. I don't really notice a substantial change in the quality of the sound. Like, it just sounds the same with more sub. I guess you just might not have very high quality drivers. That might be an issue. I don't know. No basic EQ does not use Fourier transform. Exactly. The EQ curve is the FFT of the impulse response I used to convolve the inputs. Can we stop with the jargon? I thought this was Friday Chill. I thought we were celebrating the 7-year Streamerversary, not talking about fast Fourier transforms and linear phase equalizers. One pole... Okay. Okay, it's jargon time, apparently. But what if you vocode the individually phased partials? And then you multiply that automation by the radius of Saturn. You can do a linear phase band split with a seemingly minimum phase filter so long it's a 6 dB one. Starting! Hey, you started talking about phase shifts, don't blame me for it. No, you guys started talking about IEMs first. Like, just curb your memory. The fact that you don't remember doesn't make it right. You guys started talking about IEMs, and then that brought up the topic of headphones, and then that brought up the topic of calibration, and then that brought up the topic of fast Fourier transform. And that summoned NASCO. And the rest is history. Oh, man. Also, I think there are just simple circuits for low pass and high pass. It's the same thing. The signal gets duplicated, and the duplicate gets phase shifted in a way that when it blends back, the part that you filtered fully phase cancels, right? And That's just how it happens. This water is not fresh, and I have exhausted all my supply of fresh. Yes, I have 2 different water bottles. Cry about it. My fresh water supply is gone. I have 10 minutes to survive on no fresh water. I have to figure out why this thing is not tightening, and my mic is all wiggly like this. Okay. Any other conversations worth bringing up? Oh man. Nodding my head, pretending to understand. Oh man. And so, what I used to do is I used to run my entire computer on ASIO, because SonarWorks, being system-wide, allows you to use ASIO as its pass-through. So you can use your entire computer on ASIO, but for some reason, after a while, that started to have huge pops, like every 3 seconds. I was just unbearable. So I switched to the new Windows APO insert thing, and that seems to have mitigated pretty much all of those. Don't use these, bro. They release microplastic. How's that Snowblind remix? Dude, I can't get enough of the second drop. This second drop that we are making, the coda, especially the last 16 bars, I can't get enough of it, dude. So here's what we did yesterday. I cannot wait to finish this drop. Oh man, this entire thing is just, yeah, you said it best, Opal. Ascension. You listen to this, you ascend. Can you show the first and second drop? Dude, I am documenting the entire process of, from my POV anyway. Nice you to feed with those Deadpool clips. YouTube wants me banned for sure. Okay, so playlists. Playlists. Snowblind. This playlist is now on my channel. You can where can I see my channel? Just type in YouTube/iModus. Okay, so here's my channel. And then here it is. Producing an entire song live. I am documenting the entirety of the Snowblind remix. Public, free to watch. Okay, these are all free to watch. 3-hour streams, and there's 7 of them, right? That's at least 21 hours of me producing a song live every step of the way, right? For the past, 2 weeks, I've been documenting the entire process. So now, I finally have the answer. I finally have the answer to, if anyone ever asks me again, Paul, how do you make your music? I'll just send them this playlist. So you get to watch the creation of an entire song of mine, Anna Gente, because he's also involved in it. You guys should give him full support as well. He is helping me big time. So yeah, you can just watch from here, from the first few steps to the final mixing and mastering eventually, when like day 13 or 14 or 15 rolls around, right? So yeah, you will be able to watch the entire production process of a song. Okay? So yeah. And here at the end of each stream, I tend to play the whole track, or what we have of it so far. So you can just go there and listen to it right now as many times as you want, but I'll still play it for you. Dude, I just played it. So the thing about this competition is it's allowing us to be more open than ever, in that you guys know we are participating in it, right? And this is one of those rare occasions where I feel like I can show you guys, I can be especially open about this, right? And show you guys the whole process, right? Because the deadline is very tight. You know we are working on it. And it's going to get released as soon as the competition is over. So, yeah. Who won the remix? It's not over yet. The deadline is on August 11th. So we have 10 more days. And the winners will get revealed 2 days after that, on the 13th. Right? The only thing I ask of you guys is that you please do not record or leak the remix anywhere. Please. Okay? Because if you do, I'm not doing this ever again. Okay? Please do not leak this. Okay? We're already doing this effort to stream every time I work on it and give you guys the deepest insight yet on how I work, right? Of my workflow. Okay? And the track will be coming out in a matter of days. In a couple weeks, it'll be out. So please, okay? Please. Sorry, I just sounded it for for Grammy Award. What happened again? Sorry. So, yeah. Like, it's just, we are being very generous with it. Okay? We are being extremely generous with the production process for this. You guys are getting to see the whole of it, right? You are getting to see aspects of my work that you never saw before, right? You're pretty much seeing how we work even off camera, right? So, yeah. You have at least one thing on your discography other than for this year, I mean, yeah. But yeah. And also, guys, please remember that this isn't just me on it, okay? Agente is just as involved in it as I am. Okay, so please don't go around saying it's just my remix. Okay? It's not. It's our remix. Okay? Even just 2 songs is still legendary. The real thing, the real deal is happening 2026. That's why I'm not putting out anything in 2025, because all of what I'm doing right now will be coming out next year. So I'm just preparing for post NYP. So yeah, and that shit takes time. It's not Moses' remix, it's Agente's remix only. Paul was emotional support, yes. Oh boy. Time to private the stream rip from my SoundCloud account. My bad. Wish I had your motivation, man. Dude, it's just how you gain motivation is you just sit down and you fucking do it. That's it. It kind of helped that Snowblind is my favorite track of all time, and I immediately wanted to jump on it. I immediately stopped what I was doing. I halted all progress on... I stopped working on post NYP for a few weeks just to dedicate to this. And I asked Agente to hop on board. So, yeah. But still. No, it's not my favorite Monster Cat song. It's my favorite song, period. So, yeah. What's in 2026? If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise. So, yeah. I stopped all I was doing and went, I can't not do this. It's my favorite track of all time. I wanted to remix it the day it came out. Right? In a way, I've waited 11 years for this. So, let me have my moment. There's this one film, like Bar 12, it's just mental. Bar 12. Bar 12 is... I don't have a bar counter in SoundCloud. I guess you mean like one of the first like key switches? That one? Yeah. Oh, in the drop. Okay, here we go. Bar 7, bar 8, bar 9. You mean that one? That was Agente's doing, by the way. He did that, not me. A lot of the sound design, like 95% of the sound design in this is Agente. I just rearranged some stuff around. The stream is there. Okay, there's, I think I changed the names. I renamed the streams, and I added the section of the remix that's featured in that stream. So first drop number 1. I think this is it. So you literally see me going through, and I want to skip to the first drop. You literally see me work with Agente stems and unpacking them and integrating them into the mix. And you see me just working on rearranging them, like re-chopping them to create a different pattern and all that. Right? The winner gets to be featured in an official Snowblind remix compilation. Right? So, you're on Linux. What's the Linux version? Or like type 1? No, I'm on Windows. I wish I was on Linux, though. The moment FL Studio gets a native port to Linux, I'm never looking back. I have Windows because I need it, not because I want it. And I have considered Mac multiple times. There's just 2 problems. 1, price. 2, I just don't like the OS. I used it at my previous job for at my previous job for a year and a half. I hated it. Every day I walked in, I hated it. Just it's the little things. It's dumb. It's tiny dumb shit. Like not being able to do certain things, how Command C and Command V works, but then Command X and Command V doesn't work like that. It's Option Command C. And then it's like, you can't do window snapping out of the box. You have to download an extension for that. And for some reason, that hasn't been fixed yet. And we're in 2025, that's still not a thing. And if you create a multi-output using the sound control panel that they give you, with that multi-out, you can't adjust the system volume. In general, you have to adjust the volume of each individual channel. So instead of just doing volume down, you have to go into the sound control panel and turn down the left and right channels individually, and you have to eyeball it to make sure that they stay at the same level. But that only happens with multi-outs. But still, it's a thing I had to do once, and it's this one thing I had to do once to do like a setup for a video edit of some sort, and I just couldn't fucking do it. I ended up having to do it with OBS because Mac was just that fucking ass backwards. Every decision, it's like, most of the OS is fine, but if you're a power user, you're not going to like it. It's just, you have to adapt to the OS because the OS is not adapting to you. That's what I don't like. I can't customize macOS to have macOS work for me. I have to work for macOS in a way, right? I can't make it work for me, right? You could set it up the way that you want, but it'll take time to get used to. And you'll need 1,000 extensions because a lot of stuff just isn't in there. Right? So just and then I tried, and I have this other laptop where I do a lot of tests on Linux. And I've tried many distros. I've settled on Zorin. It's Debian based. It's very pretty. I love it. And it's not as much of a learning curve. So like, the transition from Windows to Linux is so much easier than from Windows to Mac. Right? All Linux is extensions. Zorin has Windows snapping. Can't say that for Mac. And Zorin is free, by the way. Well, to be honest, technically macOS is also free, but you get my point. It's free and open source, and there's so many good things about Linux. The thing is, Linux gives you full control. Okay? You can blow it up if you want. Mac has window snapping. Now? Like, finally? Show me, please. They added window snapping in Sequoia? I don't believe you. How window tiling and snapping currently work. You're not telling me it's the actual, like... Oh my god, they actually did it? They actually did it in Sequoia. But my point stands. What is this? June 12th, 2024. What the fuck, dude? We've had them since Windows 7. We've had Windows snapping since 2009. So, yeah. It exists and it works, but it's super slow and puts weird spaces around the windows. Yeah, and even when it's there, like, once it's there, they go out of their way to form over function things. Okay? Yes, it looks pretty, but it's so pretty, it goes against me trying to work. It's actively fighting me. Right? because it wants to stay pretty, right? And this is not just me randomly ranting. I've used Mac for work 8 hours a day for a year and a half, okay? I know it. I know Mac, okay? And I fucking despise it. It's just, it's like I said, most of the OS is fine, and there's even some really cool things about it. It's just the little things, the little power user things, right? I feel like I would need 1,000 extensions to get Mac to be the way I'd like it. I secretly ran a Windows VM on that Mac machine at work. I didn't. Sorry, because I had they gave me a 2018 Intel Mac Mini. That's all they had. So I was already stretching it, running, what was it? Mac OS Ventura on that thing. I was already stretching it. I had like an i7 87 something. It was an 8th gen i7. Intel Mac is booty cheeks. It was, yeah. Yeah, it's like the one thing I don't like about Mac. It's just, it's actively fighting me, right? And the thing is, it would probably be a really good work platform for me. It has native FL Studio. It has support for pretty much all the plugins I use. Like, I could probably get a lot of plugins working. Maybe TotalBit 1 would be a bit of an issue, but Windows 11 is... yes, but at least I can just download, like, WinAero Tweaker, and and I can blast. I can nuke half of Windows 11. Right? At least I can do that. I don't know of a similar tool for Mac. I don't know of a Chris Titus Tech like powered like Windows 11 is the least user-friendly user experience I have ever seen. I agree. Stock Windows 11 is worse than Mac. Emphasis on stock. Okay? In order, like, if you want to use Windows 11 nowadays, you have to nuke half of it. You have to download a debloat tool, and you have to build an ISO that already doesn't have Edge on it, already doesn't have all the telemetry stuff on it, and then after that, you have to run... You gotta like download WinAero Tweaker and do like all these like Windows like registry tweaks to get it to work for you. Okay? But once you do that, it's respectable. You can uninstall Edge nowadays. It's so insane. Yeah, but I still like to just pull it out by the roots with like the PowerShell tool. Just like root it out of my system, you know? EU finally did something. EU is doing a lot of things that US is not even daring to. With the exception of the age verification ID thing that is actively making the internet worse. And the EU is apparently for that as well for some reason. So like they are for like they are for right to repair and for pro-consumer laws, and then they're also for age verification. So that's the UK that has brought it into effect now, but the European Union wants to do the same thing, from what I've heard. Recall and Copilot shift in a major outrage. Now I have to use 10,000 joules per microsecond, but at least with Recall, there was already backlash with Recall, and they had to recall. They had to recall Recall. Right? So they, at least for me, it never came to my computer. Like, I never had Recall installed as an update. Like, and the last time I updated my PC was like last week. I never got Recall or Copilot in my computer. It's so disabled. I've disabled things so much, so hard, they won't even re-enable themselves after an update. They, even after it downloads an update, it still can't re-enable itself. I disabled things so hard, it can't be re-enabled even after an update. That's just funny to me. I have all the GPTs. Just download a free and open source local GPT like UI, like GUI, you know. I've disabled Copilot so hard it can't even re-enable itself after a major update. Yeah, dude. Not just disable, he banished that thing to the Shadow Realm. Yeah. There aren't enough smart people using Mac to have all of these issues fixed. No, I don't agree with that. It's just that they don't make enough noise. It's just that there's so much normie. There are a lot of power users, but there's also so much normie that just, like, they settle for anything. They see Genmoji and they go, oh my god, they just came up with Genmoji. Oh my fucking god, I'm going to blow my brains out. Oh my god, that's the most innovative thing I've seen since the invention of the fucking wheel. There are people who actually react to that. To, like, the calculator app finally coming to iPad. This is, people go like, oh my god, oh my fucking god, oh my fucking god. They just, my dreams have come true. Apple, finally, oh my god, you're the best company in the fucking world. Just, and that hurts my head to no end. Like, and when Windows snapping came to macOS Sequoia, I bet you, people were just having an orgasm about it. They're like, oh my god, this is the best thing Apple has ever done. Oh my god, they're so innovative. Not knowing Windows had that for 15 years before Apple. Right? So, yeah. Anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's stream. I think I'm going to bed now. I need some sleep because in less than 24 hours, I'm doing feedback. Feedback hour. 3 hours of just me destroying your songs with Facts and Logic casually. And then after that, the following day, Sunday, we will probably be going back to the Snowblind remix. I want to see that second drop finished. And then I want to move into the breakdown. So that pretty much all that's left to do is for next week, finish the micro breakdown, and then we get into the orchestral breakdown, the orchestral bit with Agente. And then we do the outro and the intro and the final days. Like, we can dedicate... What is it? We can dedicate... So, I'm making a prediction now, okay? My prediction is probably going to be wrong. But, ideally, Sunday, so August 3rd, I finish the second drop and I move on to the cooldown. So that's the 8 bars right after the first drop. On Monday, August 4th, I start work on the micro breakdown, and with any luck, I finish the micro breakdown. On Tuesday the 5th, I start work on the orchestral breakdown, on the orchestral bit with Agente. And right up until like the 8th and 9th. So by Thursday the 7th or Friday the 8th or Saturday the 9th, I expect to have the song production finished. Okay, like production complete. And the stems exported. So on the 10th, so either on the 9th or the 10th, I can do the final mixing and mastering session, also live. We will be mixing and mastering it live, yes. So I can have it submitted by the 10th at night. Either that or throughout the 11th. Because, according to AU5 and Tasha Baxter, the deadline is, I think it was in Denver time, in their time zone, which to us translates. So the deadline is August 11th at 11:59 p.m. Denver time. Okay, so that's middle daylight time, or like central daylight time. I don't know. That basically translates to 8 a.m. on the 12th for us in Spain. Okay, so we actually have all of the 11th to submit the track, right? So with any luck, by the 10th it'll be done, and we will submit it on the 11th. So yeah, we will make it, and that's like the least optimistic of estimates. With any luck, we will have it finished before that. So on the 7th or 8th, I would like to have it finished. So we have a few days. It's Denver, Colorado. So yeah. A couple days before the 11th is when I would like for it to be done. If not, we will still make it, just a little tighter, you know. Thank you, Benjamin. Yeah, we're leaving pretty much now. Guys, I'll see you around. I've been Paulie K. Modus, as always. Until next time. Oh my god! Now you can change the wallpaper on your Apple laptop. Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! I bet your I bet your Windows never had this. Wait, was that? They had it all along? Huh. Well, at least they don't have Windows Snap. Oh. Okay.